Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 300 of DWN Productions THC podcast, sponsored by Fast Custom Shirts here at BOYGOB.com, on YouTube, Fancy Dan, and a couple Facebook pages. Can't remember which ones, but again, go to BOYGOB.com. You can find all the links to watch live. Joe, how was your week?
I'm certain that it was better than yours, Tom. It was a short week. I did work Monday, then Tuesday I had Tuesday night trash, and we'll talk about that a little later. Wednesday, I was just doing everything I could because I knew the rest of the week was going to be fucked weather-wise, and it was. So I didn't work from Thursday until today. Today was my first day back, and I'm just trying to soften up ink, because weather plays havoc with chemicals, as you certainly know, Tom.
I
And
do.
yeah, and well, shit, that's it. The only, I'd say, beneficial part of like having to take those days off, other than it putting me even farther behind, is that I wasn't in a shit mood when I got to work today, and I was kind of more into it than I'd been in a while.
Well, how cold did it get, Joe? Because the coldest I got where I was at was -6.
Yeah, we didn't get that cold. I think the lowest it got here was like 11.
Hmm. Do you get any snow?
We got snow. Yeah.
How was that?
Well,
Cold?
snow always sucks. I didn't go outside when it was snowing. Aside,
Not at all.
aside to get a beer, which I put in the ice chest with no ice, just out there so it didn't take up
Just
room in the
just a
fridge.
funny little thing to do because you could, right?
Well, no, because we bought a lot of beer because we knew we might be stuck here for a couple of days. So you don't want to take up all the fridge because we did buy some food too.
You were scared of that great Texas power grid going out again, huh?
It was a possibility. We never lost power last time, but it's a possibility.
Because you figured you were due.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know, Joe. I don't know
I
why
was
not.
due for some bad luck.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, because
Alright.
it was what, a Thursday. So yeah, I was due for some bad shit to happen.
Yeah. And more bad shit can happen, Joe, because
Yeah, it
like we
probably will.
talked about, no moratorium on
No,
bad shit happening to you.
waiting on this refrigerator here to go out on us.
Godspeed, old fridge.
That's not gonna be fun. Not gonna be fun.
Just look on small motor repairs, I guess.
Yeah,
Learn a new trade.
learn to fix that shit. Like I had to learn the other stuff. I don't know about fridges though, but I didn't know about the other shit before then either.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah. Fuck some
Well,
snow, as our listeners would say.
well, Joe, weather talk is always a great way to start a milestone episode.
300. 300. Although I haven't been around for all of it. You did at least 275 episodes before I came on. Uh, you had that, and then I think you did, what, 5 of them solo. And yeah, came late to the party, but I came.
Hey, but you made it, so good for you. All right, Joe, what did you watch?
Well, uh, first of all, glad you're back, Tom. Glad you made it. Is that the first time you'd been on a flight in like how long?
Oh, excuse me, I think I'm about to sneeze. Yeah, in almost 20 years probably. Luckily for me, I guess, my mom had like a bunch of fucking points she wasn't going to use.
Mm-hmm.
So that's unlucky. I don't know why I said luckily. Hey, you fuck. Oh god, bullets probably taste like candy. If I'd have to assume,
I'll
I
find
would.
out. I'd like to say I'd let you know, but afterwards I ain't letting you know shit.
Yeah, I hope it works out and you're not like some fucking vegetable guy
Well, I hope
afterwards.
for the sake of others.
But
There we go.
yeah, so I was able to do a first class there and back, which helped because this first class was like a little pod thing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like actual bigger seats by each other. It was like a weird little fucking cubicle thing. And there was a pretty decent sized screen in there. So I said, all right, the whole time I'm just gonna fucking stare at this goddamn fucking screen. And they had like movies and cartoons, excuse me, and shit that you could fucking pick from. But every time we fucking hit a bump, my fucking toes were just curling in my shoes, and inside I was like, it was fucked. And I just kept looking up at the fucking flight attendants and shit. And I'm just like, all right, if they're not panicking or fucking going, what the fuck was that? Then I'll be like, we'll be all right. Because I figure if they're like, oh, fuck, then something's fucked.
Yeah.
On the way back, fucking your boy Nancy Pelosi was on the fucking flight. There was
Yeah.
all these fucking Secret Service guys and shit on the fucking plane, and she sat in coach. So I was like, oh, I was trying to save face, so when she comes to Texas, nothing can be said.
Fucking
So
crit keeper.
she isn't. Oh, I fucked it up when I said she. I was gonna say he is an unattractive man, but I fucked that one up.
Well, maybe episode 600 you'll get it right.
Maybe. See if he's still around. Not that anything's gonna happen. I'm just saying he's old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I made it back. The fucking plane didn't go down, and good,
Did you watch
I
a
guess.
movie on the flight or just little cartoons?
On the way there, I watched Rocco's Modern Life. They had a few episodes of that, and if you remember our top 10 animated series list, that was definitely in there.
I
I would
do.
think in the top 3.
Yeah. Did it hold up for you, those episodes?
Yeah, I also happened to be wearing a Rocco's Modern Life t-shirt at the time. So, I still like the show. I have the complete series on DVD. So, yeah, it held up. And then, what else did I watch? Oh, I watched my dad die. It was horrific. Would not recommend, Joe. Try and skip that one. And then I got back on the plane and I watched Mortal Kombat, the one from 1995. And at that time, I also happened to be wearing a Mortal Kombat shirt. So I guess the trick to not being a fucking plane crash is to wear the fucking shirt of whatever you're watching.
Yeah, like you're the mega fan.
And everything will be okay, I guess. But it won't.
All right.
Mortal Kombat's great. I fucking don't think I put this on my top 10 movies list, and I'm an asshole for not thinking about it. But if we'd go back and do the top 10 movies list next week, this would definitely be on it, Joe. It is fucking great. Fucking great. Unlike the fucking soundtrack, which is good, but in the movie, they just use all the instrumentals. When you listen to the fucking soundtrack, like all these fucking idiots start singing. It's just like it's like fucking early mid 90s industrial techno rock bands, whichever ones were popular at the time, and the music's good, like the actual instrumentals and shit, because it reminds you of the movies. But when these fucking guys or girls, I don't know what the fuck they were, start singing and opening their mouths, it's bullshit. Except the classic title theme. You could sing that all day long and I wouldn't give a fuck. I would say more hours in the day so I could hear this song more.
You're a big fan of Christopher Lambert.
I'm a I'm the biggest fan of Mr. Lambert, Joe. Nice. Good old Lambert.
Who did he play? Dawkins?
No, that's what he did in the movie. He dockined the boat. But he plays Raiden.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, good. He's protector of Earthrealm, you see.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Feel like I'm going to sneeze again. But I didn't the last time, so I don't know why I said again. It's all right. I'm probably just going to have a stroke. That figures. Fat-titted fucking idiot. Okay. No, when we were up in Chicago, we went to a weed store that used to be in an old Jared Jewelers. So you can imagine what this fucking place looked like. It was silly, Joe. It was silly. But I got some weed there that was like 39% THC and almost gave me a goddamn panic attack.
They have it in the counter in the showcases?
No, it's you look on little screens and pick out what you want. It like has all the levels or the ABV as drunks would call it. And like all the different stuff and shit, and then you place your order, go up to the counter, and then they get it from the vault or wherever the fuck. It's a good little system, and since it's like it's not a federal thing, it's just a state thing. They don't do credit cards, but they do debit cards now, which is pretty much they do it like an ATM, Joe. They round it up to the nearest like $10 amount, and then they just give you that back in change. It's fucking weird. It's all right. You got fucking legal weed, so they're making shit ton of tax money, man. I don't know why it's not fucking
helping the city out at all. Right.
So there's that, but yeah, the whole reason for going up there was horrible. That is 100%. I watched everything happened, and boy, was it fucked. So, but Mortal Kombat, fucking great. It's not about death, Joe, but about life. It's from Mortal Kombat. What'd you watch, you fuck?
I kept on watch a couple more movies from the All the Haunts Be Ours set from Severin. So this time I watched a movie called Witch Hammer. I don't remember what country it's from, but this is one of those. Oh shit! This these old ladies are acting weird. They must be witches. Let's go find a witch judge or witch whatever you fucking call them to put them on trial. And he does, and he's just like cleaning up because the witch hunters, they get like their property and shit to help pay their fees and everything. So that's why more and more people keep getting accused. This one's really fucking good, and I'd seen the other ones that people praise, like Witchfinder General. That's okay. Mark of the Devil. That one sucks. This one is fucking good, man. This is like one of the better movies in that genre, I would say. So
the fuck genre is that?
The Witchfinder genre. I don't know. Shit was just good, man. It like this set, like the last one I watched, the real silly one, I don't even remember what it was called. This kind of made up for it. The extras were just extras about the movie. I could give a shit about that. I don't want to.
What the fuck do you want it to be extras about? Polar bears?
I'll get to that. Just some professor talking about this movie or somebody talking about Lithuanian movies or whatever, and I don't know. But I didn't watch or listen to any of that because I ain't got time for that bullshit. But the movie was fucking great. Good on you, Severin. Except for that last movie. Toss that shit out.
Throw it in the bin. It's rubbish.
The bin, But if you throw the wrong movie, you want to get the torch and look into the bin to see where it is. The torch is what they call a flashlight. over in England, Tom?
I was cleaning the shop today, and I was sweeping out under the shelves, and a little fucking flashlight rolled out, and I reached down and I said, "Oh, I gotta grab me torch, mate." I was just alone and bored.
Doing your little voices, yeah.
Speaking of little voices, Joe, it's time in our show that we're gonna stop and take a call from a guest. This guy's been a regular, Joe. And Mr. C, how are you?
Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, sir. How are you?
Did you like The Ward? I directed a movie called The Ward. You know.
I wouldn't say I liked it. I'd say I loved it, sir.
Good. I'm making money on that Halloween Kills and Halloween Forever.
Are you?
Yeah. Making
From the music.
big money on that music. Yeah.
Make money, as they say, right, Mr. C?
Let's say, but congratulations on 300. Gotta go.
Bye.
Hey, that was nice of him to call. I didn't even hear the phone ring. Yeah.
That was a lot funnier. I was holding fucking laughter in because it's so fucking dumb. Especially seeing it. Good for you for going with it, Joe.
It is one of the mainstays. I'm sure our longtime listeners, which none of them are here right now,
Burn in hell, Chris.
What'd you watch, Tom?
I watched a movie. Also, I watched this on the plane. But it was on my phone because they only had 3 episodes of Rocco for some reason. So on my phone, I watched a documentary called For Madmen Only. What the fuck was this guy's name? God damn it. I want to say Marty Klump just because he's that kind of guy, but it's not. What's the fucking guy who made Wasteland?
Made Wasteland? What do you mean?
The comic book?
Oh, Del Close.
There you go. This was about Del Close. He was like the guy who created improv or some shit or perfected it or something. It has reenactments and stuff in it of just like him coming up with ideas for the comic and shit. And I don't know. The documentary, it tries to be a good documentary. I just don't know if there's a whole hell of a lot there to do a documentary on. Maybe, I don't know. There was some stuff there, but there wasn't like all this wacky shit. Like the main story, like the big shocking story that goes throughout the movie is like when he was a kid. I want to say 6 to 12. I forget the fucking age. His dad asked him for a glass of water and he fucking drank it all there, but it turns out it was battery acid and he died. But then it turns out like that happened later in life and maybe that's not actually how it happened. So what was really real? It was just a guy on fucking drugs trying to do funny shit. I mean, it's okay if you're interested in the guy. Maybe you'll like it more than I would. I'm not a big improv guy. Bob Odenkirk, Rusty Venture, Chris Farley came back to be in it. It's all right. Maybe it's worth a watch. It just wasn't as wacky or the stories weren't as get ya as, I would have thought they would be. Maybe if you know about who this guy is and you want a documentary about him,
Well, you see,
then
when that comic came out, Wasteland, it was like I didn't know who the fucking guy was. And I still don't really. I just know he did this comic called Wasteland that was kind of popular, but I mean, they were weird stories, like nothing really went on. There wasn't, like it's an anthology book, but they didn't have like a Tales from the Crypt, punchline at the end, or they didn't, they were just fucking odd little stories that I guess when I go through and get to them and reread them again, they're gonna go in the fucking resell thing, because there was a lot of shit like that at the time. That, like I told you, I've been reading that comic Taboo that I always wanted to read, but it was too expensive. I couldn't find them. Now I'm reading them, and God, this is garbage. This is shit. Uh, but there's some collector out there that wants them. You know, I don't know. I just always wondered who this guy was that they gave him this series to do pretty much whatever the fuck he wanted, and how he got that pull with DC.
yeah, I think they just came to him. The only thing I've seen this guy in, you've seen the Blob remake.
Yeah.
He's the crazy preacher.
Okay.
So I mean, other than that, I don't know what the fuck else he's been in. Like I said, he was just some drugged up guy who like fucking was the godfather of improv or some shit.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there's that. Check it out if you want, but
I thought the poster was pretty cool because they made it look like a cover of Wasteland.
yeah, they
But
sure did, Joe.
I didn't want to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, you might like it since you watched or I should say, you might get more out of it since you read the books or had the books.
And I do like some reenactments.
You do. Fucking
Mhm.
Howard Wexler's buddy. James Urbaniak.
Yeah.
He's fucking plays what's his nuts. See, I already forgot his name. I was gonna say Deep Roy, but that's the fucking Indian midget guy. Del Close, Glenn Close.
Yeah.
So if you want to
Del
fucking,
Shannon,
there you go.
that little runaway. Run, run, run away.
Joe, what the fuck did you watch?
I went to the Texas Theater for Tuesday Night Trash. They had a free screening, as they always do, this first Tuesday of every month. But this time, it wasn't just any free screening, Tom. This time, it was the Human Tornado.
Bitch, is you for real?
Yeah. So, what's cool about this is, and I sat in and watched the movie this time. I don't always do that, but there was a lot of people there that had never seen the movie before. And the Texas Theater has kind of a hip crowd, I guess you could say, more of a younger crowd, they're a bit more woke than the people from my generation and your generation. So I wanted to see
The
their reaction.
greatest generation.
Yeah. And they're into it from the beginning. They're kind of like figuring out, right off, like, hey, this guy does stand up, but it's not the kind of stand up we're used to seeing. This is kind of weird. And they're laughing. They're saying a lot of radio edit words you usually don't hear in movies a whole lot, or if it's done for shock value, you hear it once or twice instead of hearing it, 14 times in like 3 minutes. But
Drive, radio edit, drive, radio edit, drive.
they're still laughing, still having a good time. But then there's a scene where they get a guy to stop. They're needing a ride, and they get a guy to stop in his car, and this guy is a
California.
very flamboyant homosexual figure. All but one person in that theater was quiet as shit. It was like,
But Joe was there laughing his balls.
it's true.
Hey, Joe, I'll give you a ride for a ride. I won't, but that's what the guy in the movie said.
So
Sorry.
yeah,
Shouldn't have said
that
him.
didn't play too well.
You know what I'm sure went over great though? This is the ladies.
It's still a great movie to me. It's not my favorite of the Rudy Ray Moore flicks, but it's fun. It's a good time. It does start to drag a little towards the end. So I got up and got a beer. I know how this finishes. You fucking noobs.
So it didn't go over so well.
No, they liked it. People were, but it's just like, hey, it's okay to still laugh at this,
But
but
not this.
not this.
Yeah,
Right.
what a bunch of fucks.
Yeah.
Well, I would recommend it, Joe.
Fuck yeah, I would too.
I would highly recommend it. Well, Joe, I watched a movie called Claw. It's about a raptor hunting 3 people down at like a ghost town amusement park. It's fucking a modern day fucking guy, fucking ride for a ride guy, and his friend who's a lady comedian. She's about as funny as, me just saying lady comedian
As
is.
funny as lady comedians tend to be, right?
Yeah, this fucking sucked, Joe. Yeah, it just wasn't good. I remember seeing somewhere someone's like, yeah, this was a good low budget independent movie. This is what they should be. And it just fucking sucked. Like the first time the gay dude popped up, I thought he was just doing like a funny mocking of a gay guy. And then I was just like, oh shit, never mind. That's just how he's playing this. All right. The fucking girl playing the comedian, she was fucking, I mean, she was good because she wasn't funny in the movie. And their stand up thing at the end fucking sucked a dick. So she was real good at it. And it was just dumb. I mean, they didn't even attempt any jokes. Like her profession's a comedian, and they literally like she wasn't making jokes or like that being part of her character or anything. And it's really just a shitty fucking CGI fucking sci-fi level, maybe even worse, maybe even Reptile from Mortal Kombat level fucking CG Raptor. It was pretty bad. Would not recommend. Fuck the Claw. And the fucking tagline is so goddamn motherfucking stupid. Do you think he saw us?
I thought that was pretty great.
Yeah,
I
no,
saw
it's
you
a
post
fucking
that
piece
poster,
of
and I was
shit.
like, yeah, that's fucking clever. I like it.
No, it's not. This movie was made by some fucking confused foreigner. I'm surprised Bronzy wasn't in it. Would not recommend. Fuck the Claw.
Tom, going through my films that I have stacked up here and there, rewatched one that we probably just talked about within the past year, and that is Creepshow 2.
Hot dogs. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I like this one. I think I'm starting to like this one more than the first one.
No, you don't.
I do.
Shut up.
It's the Chief Woodenhead one. It's funny. I like the whole Cisco Kid and Pancho theme that they have going through every episode. The raft, that one's funny. The whole the ride to Dover one. It's that one's not as funny as I remember it, but it's still good because that lady's such a piece of shit. Just cheating on her husband and shit. She deserved what she got. She deserved it. What
I
did
like
she
when
get?
he
I don't
turns
know.
into a Muppet at the end.
Yeah, yeah. The animated portion though, that animation, and I meant to look up who did all that shit,
It's
but
very of its time.
yeah, it looks like
It looks
the
like
animation
the
on
adult
Heavy Metal.
animation of the
Yeah,
Ralph Bakshi-ish.
rock and roll. Yeah, shit like that. So, and then
Not the character designs really, but just like the color and the
right.
lines, like how the actual animation is shot, whichever camera, I'm guessing. It's very of its time adult animation.
and you got the creep. You know, first of all, at the beginning, he just tosses that fucking bin of comics out into the street. You know, I'm sure they didn't deliver comics that way. But at the end too, he's just
Well,
tossing.
probably the newsstand ones.
No, they didn't toss them out. They had got down, handled them with care. You know, they weren't fucking
I don't know.
newspapers.
I don't know. I think the newsstand ones, they just threw them hoes out there. Like, here's your stack of slop for the day, you fuck.
And then he's just tossing comics into the street like a fucking. Kind of pissed me off. But yeah, Creepshow 2, still good.
It's all right. It's all right. Gets a lot worse.
What'd you watch, Tom?
That's all I fucking watched, Joe.
I watched season 1 of Servant. This is a show on Apple TV because I've got Apple TV free for maybe another month when I updated my phone like an asshole, like I had to do. This is a show about a couple that lost their kid. It's not explained until the end how they lost their kid. Not lost, the kid died. You know, they didn't just like misplace it. So they're using a doll, a lifelike looking doll, as a surrogate. So the lady won't be crazy or whatever, or so she can get adjusted. And they hire a nanny to take care of this doll.
Ah, shit. Love this one.
But by the end of the first episode, that doll is not a doll anymore. It's a real baby. And a lot of shit happens. There's a lot of mystery going on. Is this girl involved in a cult? What the fuck's going on? Have they put a curse on the husband? Oh, turns out the mom's a piece of shit. Surprise. And it's good. I started the second season, about 3 episodes into that, and it's remained good so far. So I recommend it. Unlike all these other shows, episodes are only 30 minutes each, so you can fly through this shit. And yeah, Apple TV. There ain't much else on there.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever came across something that was like, hey, you got to watch this on Apple TV or not watch it. So, yeah, I've never used the old Apple TV. You doing open bottles there?
I am.
Got Coronas?
I do. I say thank you to the neighbor. Thank you, Robert.
There you go, Mexican. Now get the limes. Get to liming.
We'll get to that.
So you watch anything else?
I watched another movie on the All the Haunts Be Ours. Some people pronounce this movie Vi. Some people pronounce it V. But in the movie, they clearly say Via. So this movie is called Via, Tom.
Pancho.
This is another Ukrainian Russian movie. It's supposed to be the first Russian horror movie ever. And it's silly. It's fucking dumb. It's a seminary student, you know, he goes to stay at some farmhouse, and it turns out there's a witch at the farmhouse, and she rides him like a Baba Yaga. You know,
ride it, do it,
train, and
ride it.
He ends up killing her.
No,
he beats the shit out of her, kills her. So then they call him at the ceremony. Hey, there's this rich dude's daughter died, and we need you to go pray over her for 3 nights so her soul can ascend to heaven or whatever. He goes, and he's doing that shit, but it's not the young girl. It is a young girl, but that same young girl is the witch. And every night that witch comes and fucks with him and like tries to, I don't know, kill him. So that's what it is, and there's not much to it except the very last night. It has all these creatures and monsters and shit come out, and for the time, shit looks cool. The way they did it was real cool, rolling shit backwards. And it's like maybe a Sid and Marty Krofft trying to make a horror flick. So it's goofy, but taken into, account how many rubles they might have had to make this, I enjoyed that last scene. Other people are saying, hey, that movie's fucking great. It's not. It's not great, but it's got some cool shit in it.
So, this is just a compilation of all the witch movies Severin's released?
Some of them. I'd say maybe half of them.
Okay, because I remember this being a big release whenever they first released this one.
Yeah, there's another one that I know I have already called Dark Water. So it's not all new shit.
But there's a couple in there. It's like, oh, if you want to get this one, you got to get it in the box, you fuck.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this one had, on the extras, it had 3 silent films, I guess from Russia. And they were okay. But it did have a little documentary on science fiction films from Russia. And I thought that was real cool. That was well done. That showed me like snippets of a bunch of movies I'd never heard of that I'd like to see. So you did your job there, little documentary. Science fiction films from Russia, whatever you were called, I don't know. Then, Tom, I watched season 1 of a Hulu show, or FX, I don't know. Well, I watch it on Hulu. It's called Reservation Dogs. It's just about 4 kids that live on the res, and that's what they call the reservation. Did you know on the reservation they call a torch a torch? It's one of these things that you have like flat fire and shit. Anyway, this show's good. This show's really good. It's about kids that want to get off the reservation. They want to just hightail it off to California. And it's about the quirky characters living on the reservation. Good shit. It's genuinely funny, and it's genuinely heartfelt, Tom. You may not like it because you got to care about people in order to dig this show. Then I watched Shot Caller. This one's about a guy that's a Wall Street guy, happy dude, got family and everything, living large. But then one night, he drinks a little too much, Tom. Runs a red light. His buddy in the back seat gets killed, and he's got to go do time. He's got to go to prison. While he's in prison, he hooks up with the Aryan Brotherhood. Becomes an Aryan Brotherhood tough guy. When he gets out, 7 years later, he's a big-time Aryan Brotherhood tough guy.
So what does that even mean? He owns a fucking dive bar somewhere in Arkansas.
He's doing street shit, gun deals and everything. Then he goes back to prison at the end and kills the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood and takes his place. That way no harm could ever come to his family, Tom. This movie's fucking stupid. You're either a tough guy or you're not. Going to prison, yeah, it's going to change you, but it's not going to make you the ultimate badass where you can just fucking kick anybody's ass.
It might.
Not a good movie. Do not recommend. Then, Tom, I watched Being the Ricardos. This is a movie about Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. And she was accused of being a communist. The fake news, the media, they accused her of being a communist, so it's a week in the production of a show, from their script reading, from their blocking, and finally the shooting, and how are they going to react to this? And also at the same time, another news article came out that Ricky is cheating on Lucy. What the fuck? J. Jonah Jerklin is in this movie, and he's great. Everybody in this movie is really good, but he fucking has some lines that just have you cracking the fuck up. It's worth watching. It's just worth watching. It's a good movie. Would you like it, Tom? I don't know. You might dig this one, man. I don't know. But everybody else, all of you in the chat there, go watch this movie. It's on Amazon Prime. But
I watched a shit ton of I Love Lucy growing up because my grandma watched the fuck out of that shit. A lot of I Love Lucy, a lot of Munsters, a lot of Three Stooges, and a lot of Addams Family. I think that was like a block. They played an hour, maybe 2 hours of each, because I remember watching that shit every single day for a while and playing with Ninja Turtles.
yeah, I don't know much about that show at all. I know she was like a big time.
It was shot in black and white.
Yeah, she was like a big shot in Hollywood. You know, she had a lot of power or whatever. I knew that, but not really much else about her.
So, like, they were actually married in real life, too?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that's the only reason he got on there, because they wouldn't want no Cuban on fucking. Who's gonna believe a Cuban married to an all-American girl, Tom?
I mean, he was the king of the rumba beat.
He was the king of the rumba beat. Man, could he play those bongos?
It's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know, Joe. I don't think I'm going to watch this one. It might be good, but maybe if we still had a week left in our 2021 movie thing.
Well, I think it's a 2022 movie. I think
it's not.
Right at the end of the
No.
right at the beginning of the year.
It's a 2021 one, sir.
Maybe.
So sorry.
Then last night I watched The Book of Life. This is a cartoon set in Mexico, and it's about the gods, the Mexican gods. Not Jesus and them, not Jesus and Mary, but the older Aztec gods. They make a bet. They see like two little kids or three kids, two boys and one girl, and it's like, hey, that boy is going to marry this girl. No, this boy. So they make a bet, and then it's like they're older. One's a bullfighter that wants to be a singer. The other one's I don't know. It sucks. This just, it's not good. They got Diego Luna to do one of the voices. That's fine. He's Mexican. Then they got Zoe Saldana to play the girl, and I think she's Puerto Rican or Dominican. Okay, either way, not Mexican. Then they got Channing Tatum to play the other boy. Definitely not Mexican. He's from what, Mississippi or some shit? I don't know.
Mississippi, Mexico.
One of the gods, and of course, because this is a Guillermo del Toro produced movie, you got Ron Perlman doing the voice of one of the gods. Ice Cube doing the voice of another one of the gods. But other than that, it's just, the animation is cool, but man, this one just sucks. It's a pretty fucking terrible cartoon. Do not recommend. Do not show this to your kids.
So why'd you watch it? Just because it's Mexican, apparently?
Lisa put it on last night.
Oh, I see. I understand.
Yeah, she says Coco is better.
It was all right. It was colorful.
We'll see. But yeah, Tom, that is all I watched.
That's good.
Well, not all I watched, but,
Did you hear that?
I heard like
someone taking a shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like somebody taking a shit in the Ukraine.
Joe.
Tom.
About 40 minutes in, I said, fuck it. I'm not watching anymore.
Leatherface, folks. We're talking about the movie Leatherface. We're continuing our examination, our dissection of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. So Leatherface was the last one made in 2017?
Yeah, I guess. It was sometime recently. So this was fucking released straight to DirecTV, which I've never fucking heard of that shit before. But if you had DirecTV, you could rent this movie for $10 or $20. And I did, Joe. I thought, all right, at this time, you could just fucking rent it and then you can watch it wherever you want. But you can't, Joe. This was still in 2017 where they would be playing it at certain times and you had to catch it whenever it first started. Otherwise, you just turn it on and you would be wherever the fuck it was playing. So Lori and I had to stay up, I think, an extra hour to catch the next showing from the beginning. And it's just a piece of fucking shit. Maybe if this wasn't part of the Chainsaw movie, it could be, forgivable and forgettable. Oh, okay, it's just a lame Rob Zombie ripoff movie. Whatever the fuck, I don't care. But since it's a Chainsaw movie, it's like, fuck you. What the fuck are you even thinking about? What, trying to do something different? Why don't you just try and do something good? That's something these movies have been missing. Just somebody trying to do something good, which this is not. Fuck this movie in the mouth. I don't give a fuck. When I watched it, I had the movie still in the shrink wrap. The only reason I bought it is because it was in the $5 bin. I'm just like, well, I fucking guess I gotta get it just so I'll have all the fucking Chainsaw movies. It's a piece of shit. And come on down to the next show I'm fucking at, and you can get it for $2. Thank you. Fuck you, Leatherface. You're a fucking piece of shit movie, and you can fuck the fuck off.
For those of you that haven't seen it, because I hadn't, this is my first time watching this. I'd even forgot that they made it. It is the origin story of Leatherface. How a short young boy, grew up to be tall ass Leatherface. Yeah, it's very loosely tied to the Leatherface mythos or whatever, right at the beginning and right at the end. So yeah, like Tom said, this could have been another movie entirely, and it would have worked much better.
It's like
And
one of the Hellraiser movies where it wasn't a Hellraiser script. They just threw Hellraiser stuff in it at the end, and a fucking fat, giggly, retarded kid at the beginning. God damn, I wanted to punch that fucking kid right in the fucking mouth. Yeah, that's fucking okay. That's the hitchhiker. I get it. Fucking dog shit. What a dog shit of a piss fuck, Joe.
yeah,
What a piece of shit. It's not him. It's really him. We
really
got
the
you,
other
you
guy.
fuck. We got you. What a piece of
But he
shit.
did get a chainsaw for his birthday.
What a piece of shit.
And yeah, what's surprised, like the lady that played the mom or grand, yeah, she was the mom. She's a good actress, and she's in a lot of good shit. And I was like, what the fuck is she doing in this? I don't know. And I thought, well, I mean, maybe this is before she started to get good roles. I was like, no, this is 2017. She'd done good shit before this. I don't. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
Not good.
easily the worst one.
Not good. So we got one more to watch, Tom.
Yep.
One more, and that's coming out what, 2 weeks?
The 18th.
All right. So I think in between that, we'll watch a short series of movies, one with only 2 entries. We're gonna watch The Descent and The Descent 2, Even Deeper.
Both of them for next week.
Well, I mean, fuck it. I mean, we can do that. Yeah, why not?
Pretty sure I have The Descent.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I don't have The Descent too because it sucks a fucking dick.
Well, The Descent is on Hulu, and Descent 2 is on Tubi or Roku, one of those two.
Oh, well, great.
And I've never seen part 2.
Yeah, well, sorry, Joe, but you picked it.
Yeah, well, you picked the fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and if it comes to like, hey, if I'm forced to watch a franchise again and it's a choice between Hellraiser and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm going to have to go with Hellraiser. These have fucking sucked, Tom. These have been really, really shitty sequels.
Yep. At least the next one looks really good.
Hey, speaking of something that sucks, let's talk some Spider-Mans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as last time, Spider-Man's drank a potion.
Joe, before that, who's not writing this issue?
Stanley.
Mm.
Stanley is not
Sitting
writing
in
this
the
issue
ghetto.
or the next issue. His boy, Roy Thomas,
Oh, shit. All right.
taking the driver's seat. Yeah, like I said, last issue, Spider-Man drank a potion and then he had 6 arms.
The end. That was issue 100.
Yeah, that's issue 100. He had a dream the whole fucking issue. Wakes up, he's got 6 arms. So, shit, things are rough. 6 arms. What's the first thing he does? Hey, Gwen, fuck you. Let me dump you again. Oh shit! I thought that I got a laugh out of that.
All right, I get it, Pete.
He's always crying about the bitch and then dumps her every chance he gets. Oh yeah, you're all right with me, Pete. Then he's thinking, man, this could be my chance to get away from this Spider-Man thing. What? You got 6 arms, you dumb fuck. What are you gonna do?
Wear a trench coat.
Oh. So he remembers, oh yeah, what about my buddy the lizard? Maybe he has some place I can hole up for a while.
I got this signed picture he gave me with his number on the back.
And yeah, old Kurt, whatever his name is, Connors,
Mm-hmm.
he does have a place. Hey, Pete, why don't you go down to my place in Florida, a little beach house, and it's got a lab you can use.
Is this really Spider-Man? Yes, it is. Okay, come down.
Yeah, just
All
go
right.
ahead. The keys under the thing. Just go on in. And then we cut to a ship at sea and Morbius, the living vampire. People are fucking on the ship. They're like, hey, there's a monster on the ship. It's probably that freaky looking fuck. Let's get him. And they don't. They don't.
They don't.
He gets off the ship and says, hey, I'll go hide out in this little house I see, this beach house. Whoa, shit, that's the beach house that Spider-Man's at, not Peter Parker, because he's there working in the lab, but he's wearing his fucking costume, except his arms, the new arms are sticking out of it. Why is he wearing that costume while he's there just working in a lab? Nobody there. He went there for isolation. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
So you know who he is.
But Morbius shows up, and there's some crazy shit like Spider-Man's gonna fight Morbius, but somebody opens the door. It's the Lizard. So next week for us, we got the ultimate 3-way. Spider-Man's is gonna be fucking Morbius while Morbius is being fucked by the Lizard. I can't wait, Tom. I can't wait.
I can. I'll tell you this, Joe. It's probably the best issue so far.
That's another thing too. And remember last issue or the issue before, like he was making this big deal, like, nah, I need to fucking work. I need all the work I can get from the Bugle.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, they call him up. Hey, we got some work for you. Nah, I'm gonna go on vacation for a little bit.
What?
Fucking prick.
Oh, whole reliable. That's what they call him. All right. We'll tune in next week for another okay issue and then probably another pile of pig shit.
Yep.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, Tom.
You like lists that we're supposed to bring viewers in?
Yeah, I do.
No one else does, apparently, except for that one guy. It's probably Kyle.
Viewers don't. No, Kyle's not on here today. He just said he'd be.
Fucking prick.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
You like albums?
I've been known to listen to an album now and again.
while putting this list together, it came to my attention that I like songs more than I like albums.
We'll get to that next week.
Whoa!
So don't scratch out your list, Tom.
Uh-oh. Too late.
Mm.
I think I'm going to need more than a week to do a best songs
No,
list. No, fuck you.
because they'll be from these albums. Hey, Kyle made it. Kyle Driver.
So, Joe, you like albums, do you?
I do.
All right. So, if it's okay with you, I think you're more of a fan of music than I am. You think that's safe to say?
I would think it's safe to say.
Yeah, I'm not a big music guy. I'll listen to music from time to time, but this past few weeks I've listened to more music than I have in probably the past 10 fucking years. So I'm going to go first. So your number one will be the last thing, and it'll be more meaningful since you give more of a fuck.
I do.
All right. So, with these lists, I don't like to put stuff that I'm involved in and things like that. So that's what we have. The honorable mentions for. First honorable mention, Joe, starts with a question. And that is, have you seen the deathbed video, Joe?
I was the first one to see the deathbed video, Tom.
It's good. I have Mausoleum by Ala Zuilu. If I wasn't going to be fair and give things a fair shot, this would probably be number one just for the sentimental value of being able to make the music video and for Mr. Bill writing me into a song. I think that's fucking cool. And right there, that should be number one just for the sentimental value alone. And then my next one is a tie, but you'll understand why it's a tie when I say it's the Race War soundtrack / the Dirty Worms Parasite album, because that's pretty much all the music for Race War the remake. Danny did a great job on all the original music. And the Parasite is a fucking solid album. Why Dirty Worms didn't get bigger than they did, I don't know, but they got some good shit, and that's a
Waiting
solid
for a comeback
album.
myself.
Don't call it a comeback, Joe.
I won't, but it happens.
Would definitely suggest people listening, all one of you, if you've never heard of the Dirty Worms with a Z, go check it out. And then I have Fish Out of Water by Charlie Tuna. Probably the most surprised album I had that didn't make the list was Jurassic 5 Power in Numbers. And Charlie Tuna is my favorite guy in the album. But re-listening to it, I like the solo Fish Out of Water better than that one. So, honorable mention, Joe. And then I have 40 Ounces to Freedom by Sublime, because I'm a sad drunk. And then I have Turn the Radio Off by Real Big Fish, which you can see many of the songs performed in one of Joe's favorite movies, Basketball. And those are my honorable mentions.
Tom, I've got a gospel album on my honorable mentions, and that's Al Green's Precious Lord. Great album. Motherfucker can sing, and yes, he's singing about God, but he's singing for all he's worth. Great album. Then I have Peace of Mind from Iron Maiden. This is probably the Iron Maiden album that I listen to the most, and it would have gotten higher on my list, but there's one song on it that I don't fucking like at all, and I'll always skip that song. So you're just an honorable mention.
Yeah, that did have a lot to play with in this list. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, I will give you one. Yeah, I let you skip one track But if you skip 2, then you're scratched off
Yeah.
the fucking list.
And there was a lot of shit that I, thought, man, why did I like this? There's some albums that, nah, I'm probably never going to listen to this again. But another one of my honorable mentions is Slayer's Rain and Blood. This is still my favorite of all the Slayer albums. They've got 3 that I really, really like, but Rain and Blood, listen to that again and again. Then I have Nappy Roots with their Wooden Leather album. Fucking great album. Good shit. Fun stuff. It feels so good to be here. Then I have Heaven and Hell with the Devil You Know album. Now, Heaven and Hell, it's Black Sabbath. It was just a Black Sabbath reunion thing. They didn't want to call it Black Sabbath, but it's Iommi, it's Vinny Appice, it's Dio. It's good shit, but it's not the best, so it's not in the top 10. So let's get to our fucking top 10s.
All right. Like you, I made it a little easier for myself and only did one album from one band and then ordered those in, from what I liked to whatever. You get it, Joe.
I
You
do.
get it. And my YouTube playlist helped a lot for this. I went and I counted how many I've had from that album, like how many songs I had from that album, and that made shit a lot easier.
We heard some of your YouTube playlists in that fancy limousine.
Jet flying, but we'll get to that. Joe, my number 10, I was going to write the years down, but I didn't. It's About Time by Pennywise. I used to listen to this shit all the time as a kid. It is very of its time, and it sounds like it was recorded in a fucking garbage can. But as you will find out with this list, a lot of the fucking shit I have on here sounds like it was recorded in a fucking garbage can. This is nice, good, wholesome skateboarding music. If you want some old skateboarding music, check out Pennywise About Time.
At my
Joe?
number 10, Tom, I have out of San Antonio, Randy Garibay with his album Barbacoa Blues. Now, if you like the blues, if you're Hispanic, you have the fucking blues because shit's always going bad for you. But this album, give it a listen. You haven't heard it before, and chances you haven't. It's fucking good shit.
Okay. My number 9 is from a band I first saw opening up for D12, and I think it was Cottonmouth Kings. Fucking weird tour, Joe, when those fucking tour co-headlining. But it's a band called Bionic Jive. I think they only released one album, and that album would be Armageddon Through Your Speakers. It's fucking great. I don't think a lot of people know who this fucking band is, but it's good shit. I think they had one single on some fucking forgettable movie, but that was about as big as they got. Good shit. If you like rap rock, I guess they call it. Hey, if you like fucking black guys singing over guitars, go check out Bionic Jive, Armageddon Through Your Speakers. Good shit.
At number 9, Tom, I have Anthrax with the Among the Living album. So one of the greatest thrash albums, or skate music, if you want to call it that, Tom, that's ever been made. And every time I throw it on, it's one of those albums you can fucking feel it. You can feel it, Tom.
Can you feel it?
They got songs about Stephen King's The Stand. They got songs about Judge Dredd. Good shit.
Oh, fuck. This is one that probably wouldn't have made the list if we did it a few months ago. Just out of nowhere, driving back from Ohio, I was just like, hey, man, let's put on Broke by Head PE. I remember liking that album. Holy fuck, is it great. And that's probably the hardest album I have on this fucking list. I don't think I can name another Head PE album or a song that isn't on this one, Joe, but holy shit, is this one fucking awesome. Everybody Dies, Swan Dive, good shit. Good fucking shit. Would recommend. Would recommend.
Next, I have Ray Bailey's Satan's Horn album. And if you like the blues and you haven't heard Ray Bailey, check this out. The whole album's on Spotify. It is fucking great. It is one of my favorite blues albums. Ray Bailey's dead, so we're not getting any more shit out of him. Give it a listen, man. This is really good shit.
I will, Joe. Just for you. My number 7 will melt your fucking face off. And it'll melt your fucking face off because when you listen to it, the flames of hell surround you, Joe. And this is one of the greatest rap albums of all fucking time. This is the wicked shit. The wickedest of wicked shit, Joe. And that is Esham, Closed Casket. Such a fucking great album. I love this fucking thing. I don't listen to much music, but at least twice a month I'll listen to The Wicked Shit'll Never Die at very, very high volumes just to feel something, Joe. Just to feel something. Would recommend.
Sometimes.
And that specific song samples Cheech and Chong too, so that helps. That's my record, man. I just bought it. Good stuff.
At number 7, I have Motorhead with their album Ace of Spades.
You fucking racist.
Good shit. Hard, heavy shit. 3-piece band just kicking ass all over the place. Fucking great album.
Joe, can't bring up Motorhead without doing your Lemmy impression, so let's hear it.
Oh, I don't have a Lemmy impression, Tom.
No, you don't.
Good thing he didn't call. He never has. The fuck. Never will.
This one, I think, will be the most surprising on the list. This will be my favorite Twisted album. And again, this one was done by, I listened back to 3 albums. It was the one that had the most songs on my playlist. And Mutant, Volume 2.
What?
took the number 6 spot. This was
Mutant.
Twisted's first go-around as a rock band, I guess. This is their first attempt at rock music. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of their latest attempt at rock music, but I mean, if I go back and listen to Twisted now, it's probably going to be stuff off of Mutant. So, although I'm going to stab a motherfucker in dead shit, that's all well and good, but if I want a Twisted album, I'll go to the old Mutant Volume 2. There's nothing more than I like sticking my dick in a mannequin.
That's true.
So
You've
thank
mentioned
you.
that several times.
I have.
Tom, at number 6, I have Judas Priests with their album The Sad Wings of Change. Rob Halford's voice is all over the place in this. It is fucking great. This is some goddamn. This is I don't know. I don't know. Most people they'll talk about British Steel, fucking Turbo, but no, this is album. This is the album that solidified them as a fucking heavy metal band.
Joe,
Hey Tom.
my number 5 is a tie. I just couldn't. I couldn't pick one over the other. I just couldn't. They're both good, solid albums. And that's The Great Malenko and The Amazing Jekyll Brothers by the Insane Clown Posse. Both good, solid shit on there. Different albums. Would recommend. Have yourself a listen and a nice chilled glass of Faygo.
You heard it here first, folks.
Throw it in your face and enjoy life. Rest in empowerment, Father J.
Number 5. I have Queensryche's Operation Mindcrime. This is a theme album, Tom. The whole album tells a story about this guy that he's just a loser on the street until he meets Dr. X. And Dr. X gives him a reason to live, something to believe in. And he becomes the assassin for Dr. X. But he falls in love with Sister Mary, also a member of the cult. Oh shit, things ain't gonna end well, Tom. Things ain't gonna end well. This album, kind of dated. I don't know that I can recommend it. I don't think unless you grew up with it or it hit you at a certain time that you're gonna dig it. But it hit me at that time, and still when I listen to the album, it's like, fuck, this is a great album. I thought the same thing to a lesser degree about their follow-up album, Queensryche Empire. Listen to that again. And I've been trying to figure out how to delete songs from your playlist on Spotify because that album is not good. And those songs are just not fucking good anymore. So they didn't capture magic again. Now they did do another album, Mindcrime 2, as bands that they lost their way. They try to follow up with something. I've never listened to this album, and I'm not sure why, because I think, I know that Dio is on it, and he's singing the role of Dr. X. And every time I think about listening to it, I don't, because I'm afraid I'm going to be disappointed in it, and I'm going to be disappointed in Dio. But I don't know. But Mindcrime, to me, is great.
Joe, my number 4 is the greatest comedy album of all time. I listened to this shit when I was very, very young.
That N-word's crazy.
Well before I should have. This is definitely one of the things that shaped my sense of humor in just saying fucking vulgar and silly shit just to get a laugh. I fucking love it. And in light of recent events, it holds an even more special place in my heart because my dad and I used to listen to this all the time. And that's when this fucking thing was first released, which is, I don't even think I was double digits in age yet, Joe. And this is 2 from the Jerky Boys. I know you've heard of this one. It's got fucking fava beans on it, Joe. It's a goddamn classic. One of the fucking best when I went back and listened to this. So yes, this is definitely going on the fucking list.
With that build up, I was sure you were going to say Triumph, the insult comic.
Almost, but Jerky Boys, all their shit's fucking great. But 2's where it's fucking at. 3 is also fucking good shit, but 2's where it's at for sure. So what's your fucking number 4, Sizzle Chest?
My number 4 is the self-titled debut album from Body Count. That's right. Yeah, this is a mashup of thrash and metal, and it's got a lot of, what is it, political angst. I don't know. They're angry young men, Tom. And
Yeah, young. Oh wait, you said the original. Okay.
right, yeah, the first album.
Okay. Yeah.
And so this one, like, I probably wouldn't have listened to it. I wouldn't have heard it. I was dating a girl that worked at Camelot Music at the time. Remember this place, Tom?
You remember Coconuts?
Camelot Music. Now, she grabbed me a cassette because they pulled all the cassettes out of Camelot Music and a lot of other stores because of a song called Cop Killer.
Cop Killer.
It caused a lot of controversy and got these pulled. If you listen to the album on Spotify, Cop Killer is not on that track list, but they studio play it on what's the other streaming service? Pandora? Yeah. So you can listen to it on Pandora. I don't know if it's on YouTube anywhere, but
I'm sure it is.
But the
you can see actual cops getting killed on YouTube, Joe.
But yeah, that's true. The whole fucking album is great, and it's just got some great fucking riffs. It's some good shit, man, and I listen to it quite frequently still.
So we're at our top 3, huh?
Top 3.
This is it.
This is it.
Joe, you're going to pop for the name of this album.
Wait, did you do your number 4? You didn't do your number 4.
My number 4 was 2 by the Jerky Boys.
Oh, okay, so somehow we got mixed up. Oh, no. You're right. I'm going to pop for your next one. Your number 3, Tom.
Because my number 3 is with a Z. And Joe, that's Serial Killers by Half-Breed. This song, or this fucking album, has like 3 songs and fucking 80 skits on it. But it doesn't matter, because those 3 songs are fucking great. Fuck Halloween might be the best song right after the fucking Mortal Kombat theme.
That is one of your favorites. Fuck Halloween.
Is. That is a yearly play on Halloween. All day, every day.
And on your wedding playlist.
Mm-hmm. It's a goddamn classic, Joe. Mm-hmm. If you're not down with Half-Breed, you can fucking jump off a bridge for all I fucking care. Long live Half-Breed. Even though they fucking put out like 2 albums and then went on and do some fucking like generic rap shit and then broke up. Serial Killers, The End, fucking Rage of the Plague. They had some Contamination. They had some good shit. But no shit better than Serial Killers with a Z, Joe. With a fucking Z. Serial Killers. Good stuff. With a Z. Just like Zorro.
Tom, my top 3 got rearranged several times as I was compiling this list. And my number 3 was at my number 1 at one point. But it's not. As I listen to these things over and over, I was like, I don't know. But number 3, although it's not first in line, at least it's not last in line. And that's Last in Line from Ronnie James Dio, or the band known as Dio. What a fucking great album. Great album. I mean, what? Yeah, I get, man, tongue-tied. Just trying to fucking talk about it, Tom. Just go listen to it. Chances are you have. If you haven't, you're a fucking fool.
Goddamn court jester.
Mm-hmm. Lasting
Now,
by
now I don't know what number one's gonna be unless you just said fuck it, doing another one. You fuck, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's understandable. Number two, Joe. I just don't have an entity. I have the entity by King Gordy. Fucking great. Again, don't listen to a lot of music, but when I do, it's probably going to be a King Gordy track. And if it is, it's probably going to be off the entity. Unless it's Howl at the Moon, which is not that album. But the entity, fucking great. If you're not down with King Gordy, fuck you. Thank you. And Joe, who the fuck is King Gordy anyways?
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
So my number two, I have a live album. And the thing is, I don't like a lot of live albums, even with bands that I like, like Iron Maiden. They put out that, I don't even remember what their live album was called, but it didn't sound good. A lot of live albums don't sound good for shit. And you figure, like, man, these people, they can't sing if they're not in the studio. They sound like fucking garbage if they're not having all their shit cleaned up in the studio. Not the case with Rainbow's album On Stage, featuring lyrics from Ronnie James Dio. Fuck. He sounds just as good live as he does in the studio. People always make that comparison, like, oh, I like the Ozzy era of Black Sabbath. I like the Dio era of Black Sabbath. Ozzy sounds like shit live. He sounds like fucking garbage. And there's your distinction. He wasn't a singer. He was a front man. And you want to hear a great fucking vocalist, listen to Rainbow On Stage. Now, a lot of you probably don't know who Rainbow is, and that's understandable because Dio did 2 albums with him in this live album, and then they went on and did other shit like top 40 shit, and it was very Rainbow-ish after that. But fuck yeah, they had 3 great albums. This is one of them.
At number one, Joe? Yeah.
Number 1, Tom. This is it.
Well, this was the one that I thought was going to be number one. And it was. I mean, if you think about it, and if you know the kind of shit that I like, probably not a surprise. But this is Season of the Pumpkin by House of Crazies. This is very, very 90s, very, very Halloween, the movie, the season influenced. It's like you remember, I think the company was called like Bastille or something, but they made all those like cardboard Halloween decorations with like pumpkins and scarecrows. It just reminds me of like one of those, just put the fucking music. Great Halloween fucking pumpkins, graveyard fucking creepy music. Very, very, very good shit. Just reminds me of 90s Halloween. Just the season and everything it encompasses. Fucking good shit. They got a song called The Mask on it. Come on. Come on. Season of the Pumpkin, fucking great. If only it didn't sound like it was recorded in a tin can, but a lot of the shit on my list did. So fuck it. Season of the Pumpkin, fucking great. For Joe, you don't know, Season of the Pumpkin is our House of Crazies. That's Twisted and one of the guys from Half Breed. So of course, it was going to be on there. And it is at number one. But Joe, fuck my number one. What is yours?
Well, Tom, I'm going to listen to Season of the Pumpkin tomorrow at the shop.
Good for you.
But my number one, Tom, is Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell. featuring vocals by Ronnie James Dio. Black Sabbath has 3 fucking great albums. This is one of them. Ronnie James Dio did the vocals on the other 2. This album's just fucking badass. This album has so many fucking, again, like that Judas Priest, it showcases Dio's fucking voice, what it's capable of. But it also has like songs on there like Neon Nights that everybody gets their piece. Everybody gets a chance to shine, the whole fucking band. And that's what's great about this album. It's they come together. They're playing as a fucking band, and it's just fucking amazing. And the next album was really, really fucking good, but I don't think they ever captured this kind of magic again. Heaven and Hell, if you've never heard it before, it's a fucking perfect album. Go listen to it. Do yourself a fucking favor. Chances are you've heard it before. But if you haven't, fuck, you're dumb. You're just dumb.
You're a fucking dumb bitch.
I want nothing to do with you.
Well, Joe, that was a list.
That's a good list, Tom.
That was a list.
But we'll be revisiting this list again next week when we pick our favorite songs off of our favorite albums. So get ready to hear some singing next week, folks. Tom loves to do some singing.
Man, you got them fava beans? My wife, she's sick as a fucking dog. How about I come there and split your nuts from the back of your head to the side of your ass? Oh, what the fuck? I guess, man. I guess. Well, Joe, it's time for the news segment.
Hey, want to thank no questions in our thing tonight, but we do want to say yes, James, fuck that snow. Oh, Kyle was with us from the beginning, and he said howdy. Jake Taft said 300 for some reason. Oh, it's because it's our 300th episode. See how quickly we forget, or at least I do. Don says Mortal Kombat is awesome. Jeremy, he's at work and can't hear shit, but he has a show on anyway. Thanks a lot for slacking on the job. We appreciate it. Jake Taft said Tubi. Christy Nick said good night. Buddy LaPointe said let's smoke Sherm.
Shermanizing.
I don't know what that means because I don't do any kind of drugs or anything like that.
Attack the whack, Joe. Attack the whack. Attack the whack.
Says John Wayne Joe. I don't do any kind of drugs, Tom. And Michael Santow. He said number 1, I think, would have to be Hell's Pit.
Hell. That's an insane Clown Posse record.
And Kyle Driver says Fat Killers.
Fat Killers or fuck you. I'm going to ride for FK, Joe.
Mm-hmm. That's what he followed that up with, too.
Mm-hmm. As he should have. Ride or die it, you fat fuck. Good shit. So 300, huh?
300.
It's very odd to start this because my stepdad died. Give me something to do to get my mind off it. And now we're at 300 and my dad died. So
life throws them fucking curveballs at you. Life's fucking ironic as shit.
Life's not ironic as shit. Life sucks a fucking dick, Joe.
It does. There's no irony in that.
Dad would always say, life's a bitch, and then you die. And yep, 100%. Yeah, I don't know, Joe, but we'll be back next week. And in the meantime, hopefully you'll head over to Fast Custom Shirts and buy a BOYGOB shirt. I tried to give one away
He
on
did.
the Facebook page. Fucking Mike the Mick, who isn't here today, he would have won, but I guess he deleted his fucking reply. All he did was, I bet Joe has fucking 10 Dio albums. I mean, you weren't close. You could have at least got another fucking shirt if you would have just kept your thing. I would have bought it for you, but
I had 4 Dio albums.
Yep.
That's only because I gave myself a rule, or else, yeah, you would have been right.
But yeah, so no more
Ronnie
contests.
James Dio. Pretty good, Jared. Pretty good.
So yeah, no more contests. You can all go get fucked.
Fuck all yous. But thanks. Thanks for listening.
So head on over to dwnproductions.net. I think there's 2 of the pumpkin masks left. So if you want those,
get one of
get
those.
it.
I mean, that thing looks cool as shit. It's and I told Tom before, make the shit that you think is fun. You'll do a lot more of it. You'll be happier. And it's cool. It looks really fucking cool.
I'll be waiting for your order then. So there's 1 left. If you want it, head on over to dwnproductions.net or pick something else up there. I don't say that often, but next week I should have time to, do some orders. So if you want something, pardon me, if you want something from the site, now's the time to fucking get it.
Now's the fucking time. Boy.
Joe.
Oh. Yeah, Tom.
Shirts and shit.
Oh, Fast Custom Shirts. We're busy, but fuck, we're knocking shit out. I've been rejuvenated by 4 days at home. So yeah, there's new stuff on the site. There's old stuff on the site. Just go get it and we'll ship it out. Thanks, Chris Holm, for placing an order. We'll get your shit out when it's ready. But yeah, fuck it. Go over there. Support small business, you fucks.
Well, all right. Until next week, BOYGOB.